Minnesota wins the toss, they'll defer. And we are set here on this Saturday. Underway at Michigan State. Bell is the ball carrier. Bell with the seam and a spinning move. Still on his feet. And he is brought down at the 42-yard line in a 30-yard return for Le'Veon Bell. Can't find your school's game? Go to btn.com/gamefinder to see where you can find your game. Kirk Cousins started last week, 1-7 coach at Nebraska. A tough day for this offense. Only 187 total yards.
Yeah, 1-7. Remember, he's a 63% completion rate. That's very unusual for him.
Motion. It's a tight end. Brian Lithicum and a handoff. Baker had a huge game last season against Minnesota, and Edwin Baker, the ball carrier, and that's something that they stressed yesterday in meeting with the coaching staff. They want to run the football.
Yeah, they want to run the football. They think they've got away from it too early when it hasn't worked from a coaching perspective. And, you know, here's Travis Jackson, the center, and that's one of the things they talked about. He might not play, he might play, but the problem is they don't have a cohesive group.
Second down and 6. Cousins. Baker right up the middle, and a strong run by Baker. Talking to the offensive coordinator, Dan Rouser, he said that they went away not patient with that run game, and they started right up the middle, and there's the offensive line for the Michigan State Spartans, and they need to have them working cohesively. And you look at B.J. Cunningham, had a stretch of 41 consecutive games with a catch, and last week, I tell you, the black shirts, they're going, aren't they?
Well, I don't know where
Nebraska?
Yeah, I don't know where the black shirts have been, but for Halloween, they showed up.
They did.
They were there, and they held that guy without a catch.
Inside Gopher territory.
Timeout, Michigan State.
And a timeout taken by the Spartans of Michigan State. Spartans lead the all-time series. Gophers have won 6 of the last 9. Of course, you're very familiar with this series. They had a stretch of, what, 17 straight victories against the Gophers?
Yep, 17 in a row.
And then you stop that with your team. 3rd and 2 and stacked up. And I tell you what, the front of the Gophers did an excellent job right there.
Well, they did. They played run the whole time. Michigan State came with an off-tackle power to the left, and you saw that safety just filling right downhill.
And it's going to bring up now 4th and short. And it's hard to believe that with the talented running core that they have here at Michigan State, that they are dead last in the Big Ten in running.
Well, it is, and it's especially with those running backs like you're talking about. I can understand the offensive line, but I can also understand the coaching point. They haven't been committed to the run.
Brandon Green is back, calling for a fair catch, and he is able to make the catch right at the 17-yard line on the punt from Mike Sadler. It's a 31-yard boot by Sadler.
Let me just make this point. On that 3rd and short, you know, a little bit more than 2 yards, you know, the thing about it, it was pretty well blocked at the point of attack, but they brought the safety right away, and there was more hats than you had blockers in there. I would look for Michigan State next time to come in a play-action pass in that area.
And
Go
I
for the home run.
think, you know, the other thing, Coach, too, we talked about this earlier, the patience with the running game. Be interesting to see what the Spartans do their next series. Do they stick with it? Marquise Gray. This offense centered around Gray, and Gray running it, not a keeper, and he's going to chew up some yards there. And Isaiah Lewis comes in on the stop. For the Golden Gophers, they have had some issues up front with their offensive line. Only Ed Olson and Ryan Wynn have started every game. They've had to shuffle some things up. Receiving core as well as running backs. Dewan Bennett, talented running back, and that catch is made by Green, and it's going to be 1st down now. You were out at practice with the Gophers earlier in the week, and one of the things in talking to you that you said, you know, it was like spring practice out there. That emotional lift.
Yeah, it was. It wasn't your typical November Tuesday practice, especially for a team that's only won 2 games. They were very upbeat.
Big time win against the Hawkeyes, 22-21. Gray on a keeper, once again grinding it out. And a good job by Marquise Gray as Max Bullock comes in, and he makes the stop. Now for the Auto Owners Insurance starting defense, and this is a defense that will get after you, Coach.
Well, that's an awful impressive front four. You take your pick. I'll tell you, Jarrell Worthy has been a beast all year long.
And William Golston up front. Chris Norman, game time decision right now. Steve Gardner had to leave the game last week with the stinger. He will start at linebacker in the secondary. Extremely talented. Under pressure. Marcus Rush was right there. Gray is able to hook up. And here go the Gophers. All the way in. And it's a touchdown for the Golden Gophers. Dejon McKnight with a breakaway and a touchdown. How about that play as McKnight was creating? 64 yards.
Well, you know, everything has worked so far on offense. They're mixing up, they're running the ball. Now here, you wouldn't expect that right there. Look at those missed tackles. We're talking about the top-ranked defense in this league, number 2 in the country. It's unbelievable.
And Johnny Adams was on his back for a little bit of a ride. Jordan Wetstein, Michigan State. That Spartan defense, the best in the Big Ten.
Well, I'm going to tell you something, partner. You don't get to be ranked number 2 in the country by giving many plays like that up. They're not very happy on that Spartan sideline.
Jordan Wetstein to kick it off. Back to receive. Michigan State fumbling it. And it's Nick Hill. And Hill is dropped back at the 11-yard line. And Michigan State a little rattled here. Let's go back to that play, Coach.
Yeah, let's just watch this. First of all, it's very well executed by Marquise Gray by himself. Look at that athletic ability he sets up. Now he finds an open receiver over the middle. But look at this right here. Look at all those defenders right there. That should be a good gain, but not a touchdown. That is poor defense right there. Good block by 85, getting in front of the ball carrier.
Well, we mentioned it. Is there patience in the run game? Bell is in the backfield for Michigan State. Le'Veon Bell. Bell spinning. Spins once again and grinds it out. It goes all the way to the 25-yard line and a pickup of 15 before Mike Rollis comes in and makes a stop. And now, what a great run by
Yeah, it is.
Bell.
But on defense, you can't really see it in that picture. Minnesota's playing what we call 2 high safeties. They're not going to get any help from the safeties in that situation, and that's going to be the difference. If they can't slow down the run, we're going to have a problem.
Cousins under center. Lithicum, the tight end in motion. Play action. Cousins with time, deep down the middle, wide open, his favorite target. B.J. Cunningham is finally brought down at the 6-yard line of the Gophers by Brock Vereen.
We've got a coverage bust here. Obviously, you see the play action pass, good protection, but you talk about playing a game of wide open. He won. There's no one near him. That's a coverage bust.
Gets sucked up and sucked in, looking for the run, and then all of a sudden a deep strike. 69 yards.
But when someone's that wide open, it's not merely just getting beat. That's what I'm saying. It's a mistake on the back end.
Bell in the backfield. Cousins hands off to Bell. Bell straight up the middle, stacked up, no place to go. And right there at the 5-yard line, Mike Rollis with the stop. And now let's take a look at the Auto Owners Insurance starting defense. Perry, Jacobs, Kirksey, Amafala up front, the true freshman. Consistency has been a key for him, according to the defensive coordinator, Tracy Clays. And there's Kim Royston. Royston, their leading tackler. And last week, recovered an onside kick. He was big time. To the air. And Cousins overthrows Cunningham.
And this becomes a real big play. after giving up a big play like that the Gophers did, if they can hold the Spartans to 3 points, that's a win.
3rd and goal. 9:17 remaining here in this opening quarter. And East Lansing out of the shotgun. Cousins, Bell is the running back. Martin in motion. Cousins sprinting out to the end zone. Caught! Touchdown Spartans! Keith Nickel. Nickel had that huge catch a couple weeks back against Wisconsin.
Here we go. He's just laying it up there. I thought it looked like it was well covered. Got it in there. 2 guys in one zone. I'm not really sure, but it's a touchdown.
Well, you look at this Spartans team at home, the difference between being here and then on the road for Mark D'Antonio's crew is huge. Dan Conroy comes on. Kevin Muma, the sophomore from Troy, Michigan, set to kick it off for the Spartans. They tie it up. Impressive. 5 plays, 90 yards. And Minnesota up to the 22 and all stacked up. And that's where the Gophers will start. All right, stay tuned for the Buffalo Wild Wings halftime report with scores and highlights from all of today's action. Marquise Gray, first series, hooks up with McKnight and mixing it up a little bit. A little keeper and then across the middle, throwing it.
I really like the play. You know, you're playing against a team that's really tough. You know, they come out, they're running the ball, they're running their offense.
Green in motion. Gray on a keeper straight up the middle. Being covered well. And a pickup of a couple before he is brought down by Allen.
That's one of the things Michigan State, when you study them on film, especially against Michigan and Denard Rumpf, they did a good job. The defensive line, if the quarterback's going to run the ball, they keep him inside, they get him in a phone booth, and the linebackers can finish it off.
Demetrius Allen from Hamilton, Ohio. Just a sophomore, along with Max Buller, who's also a sophomore. Key ingredients to this defense are going to be around a while in the Big Ten. Get used to them. And Gray, once again on a keeper, and goes straight up the middle.
I wouldn't be a bit surprised if you saw the Gophers go with a quarterback draw with Gray. Playing against the good defense.
They'll play action instead. Gray connects to McKnight, and it's a first down. Moving the chains, 3rd and long, and Gray, how about this?
Yeah, he flash fakes, he stands tall in the pocket. Good protection by that offensive line. He puts the ball right on the money, had a soft corner, pitch and catch, well executed offense.
First and 10. Gray out of the shotgun. 2 wide receivers, top of your screen, and a handoff right up the middle. And DeJuan Bennett is the ball carrier.
Hey, you know, we got our partner down there on the sideline. John, you got to be impressed with that offensive line play so far for Minnesota.
Well, no question. You know, they've tightened their splits down, which we heard they were going to do this week, and it really allows them to feel a little bit more safe in there and a little bit more aggressive. They're allowing Marquise Gray to be able to sit in that pocket and move around at will right now.
And that's certainly been a key. He's 3 of 3, throwing the ball for 84 yards. 2nd and 10. Gray right over the middle and nearly picked off by Isaiah Lewis. Had his receiver wide open. The protection was right there up front as well.
Well, you'll see the guy go right down the middle, and initially he's wide open, but that safety does a fabulous job coming over the top. They got to hit that quicker. The off safety recognized it, and he was playing it the whole way. He had to defend it. Should have picked it off.
John Arabe, the intended receiver. Isaiah Lewis leads a team with 4 interceptions. 3rd and 10. Here's Gray with time. Gray now out of the pocket. Gray on the run, spinning around. Gray fires to the near side. McKnight, and it is incomplete. It skips off of the ground.
Michigan State did a great job there. They lined up, they walked up like they were coming on a blitz. On the snap, they bailed out and played coverage. And then, it's awful dangerous. They did a pretty good job of coverage because when Gray running around back in the backfield like that, normally someone will come loose.
Keyshawn Martin is back. Dan Orseski averaging just over 40 yards a punt. And this one is off the side of his foot. And take it right at the 30. And there's some wind swirling around. 34-yard kick by the punter, Dan Orseski. All right, let's go to Dave Revson in the studio for a Discover Card Game break. Rev? I tell you what, Coach Mason's eyeballs just popped right out after that report by Dave. Tied at 7 here. Cousins. A handoff. Ball is loose. Did Minnesota recover? There's a fumble. Baker was a ball carrier, and it's Gophers football. Oh, my. Keenan Cooper comes up, recovers it.
We're going to see it right here. They're playing run. They don't handle the line of scrimmage. That's bad ball protection. Great defense by the Gophers.
Anthony Jacobs created it right there.
Only 6th turnover of the year. And look at this field position.
So the Gophers, 1st and 10 in Michigan State territory. Gray looking straight up the middle. Gray puts his shoulder down and tears it up right to the 13-yard line. And John, that patchwork offensive line doing a job.
Yeah, they are, and conversely, the offensive line for Michigan State, there was a little bit miscommunication up front. Ethan Rulin and their left guard ended up going in different directions, which was pretty much the cause of that turnover.
1st and 10 now. Gray to the end zone. McKnight. Touchdown Gophers! What a catch by McKnight. His 2nd touchdown of the game. Penalty flags are down.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 6 on the offense. That penalty be assessed on the kickoff.
John O'Neill, our referee. 2nd touchdown of the day for McKnight, 3rd of the season. And so that will be assessed on the kickoff. A mistake there by McKnight. Jordan Wetstein is on. That point after. Good. A turnover by Michigan State. Wetstein's going to kick it off from the 15. And we were mentioning earlier the wind really kicking up, and now they're going to have someone come over, I believe, and hold it for the Gophers. And it's a beautiful day, crystal clear skies, but the wind started kicking up a little bit later in the morning, and you can see it right there. When you were out running this morning at about 5, it was nice, cool, calm, no wind.
And dark.
And dark.
I'm going to tell you about Jordan Wetstein. You know what? He caddies for me during the summer. Do you know that? I overtip him. I'm allowed to do that anymore because I don't coach, you know?
Are you? Brock Vereen was holding it, now taking it at the 20-yard line is Nick Hill. Hill into Gopher territory, and a big run by Hill. Helped, obviously, by that penalty, a 35-yard return. Thursday nights experience a football weekend like never before with Tailgate 48. Get an all-access pass at Big Ten campuses for a 48-hour tour of the traditions and game day excitement in and around the week's best matchups. Tailgate 48 presented by Omaha Steaks, Thursday at 7 o'clock Eastern.
Now does Michigan State answer effective? They need the offense to get going, defense to get going, everything to get going.
Full back in. Reverse, B.J. Cunningham. And Cunningham's going to pick up a couple on the play and brought down at the 41-yard line of the Gophers.
Well, here comes the reverse. Actually, it's the fake double reverse. I'm a little surprised at that call. You know, I mean, all of a sudden you get going, you're kind of on the wire right here. You got to get back to base. Let's run our offense. Let's not trick them. Let's block them.
Swing it out to Martin. Martin's going to pick up a first down. Deshauna Martin with the catch, the senior.
You'll see a critical mistake right here by number 21, Vereen. He went inside, and you can't. You got to force that ball back inside to everybody else. You can't go inside and let it outside.
And Martin went outside. They had trouble with that a week ago against Nebraska. Nebraska did a great job on the outside, Coach. Bell is the running back. Cousins under center. Cousins, three-step drop, intended for Deion Sims. And the pass is incomplete to the tight end, who's playing with a broken wrist. Minnesota up by a touchdown with 4:54 remaining here. And you see that heavy wrap around that left wrist. Makes it tough to catch.
Well, here we go again. They started the game trying to get the running game going. All of a sudden, game's on the line. They abandon it. You look at this series, trickery, throw the ball. You know, you don't develop a running game by getting it away too early, and they know that.
2nd and 10. The pitch. Bell looking to get outside. Bell stretched out, turns it upfield, and he's knocked right at the 30. Ben Perry there on the tackle.
They're very fortunate. Look at this pitch right there. That's a broken play. You can see that. I can tell you, Cousins thought it was a toss sweep to the left, and the running back thought it was going to be a power back inside. They're very lucky that wasn't a fumble. I don't know what the communication problem there, but either Bell or Cousins, both of them weren't on the same page. Let's put it that way.
3rd down and long. Cousins out of the shotgun. Cunningham and Nickel, the receivers, bottom of your screen. Cousins looks that way. Now looks right down the middle. And he throws it high. Pass intended for Brian Lithicum. And Mike Rawless, a linebacker, was on the tight end there.
Michigan State's playing really tight right now. Coach, as you know, in games that you come in heavily favored, sometimes these guys come out and they're really thinking that somebody's going to make a play instead of I need to go out and make a play. So hopefully right now, you know, Kirk Cousins and this offense can go out and somebody makes that play to jumpstart this team.
Well, here we are in the 30-yard line. It's too close in to punt, too long for a field goal, so they're going for it.
They're 7-13 on the season. On 4th down, it's almost like they're doubting what they're doing offensively. Cousins across the middle to Martin. Looking for him to try to create after the catch.
And the Boo Birds are out in full force. You know, the thing about the way this game is developing, Michigan State's offense, in effect, that really plays right into the hands of the Gophers because they don't have to cheat versus the run. They can just play coverage. They can get help to those corners. They're really weak at the cornerback position, Minnesota, and if they have to put those guys man on man, the only time they're going to do that is if they have to defend the run or blitz. Right now, against this offense, you don't have to do that.
They're going to rely on this defense. Can the D now create a play for Michigan State? Gray under center. Gray on a handoff. Off the tackle. And DeJuan Bennett is the ball carrier. And he's going to pick up some yards. And this is last week at home. Iowa marching down, but Marquise Gray with a huge run right there. And then the defense comes up big. Mike Rawless, you think he's loving it?
Do you think
and there's
so?
Floyd, huh?
Yeah, beautiful thing, isn't it? Absolutely beautiful.
Gray, under pressure, Gray breaks a tackle. And penalty flag is down.
Holding, 80.
And it's a holding call up front.
It's tough sometimes as an offensive lineman when that quarterback is so mobile. You never really know where he is, and all of a sudden, if he gets outside the pocket and your guy starts taking off.
Offense, number 88. 10 yards from the previous spot. Repeat, second down.
A tight end, Colin McGarry that time, John, trying to give Gray a little bit more time.
Yeah, and like I was saying, you know, if you don't know where that quarterback is, sometimes it's a blessing. If you miss a guy and he goes to make a sack, that quarterback can make a miss. If he gets outside the pocket, you got to let that guy go. You don't know where that quarterback's going to be.
Yeah, John, and you're an expert at holding. I remember when we used to play against us.
Oh, Coach, that's 2 times now you've gotten after him. There's another flag down.
Ball start. Offense, number 58. 5-yard penalty, still second down.
False start. It's Ed Olson. A sophomore, one of the mainstays up front for Minnesota. And you saw that graphic where, you know, this is a Minnesota team in the first quarter that just hasn't shown up. Today they have. Michigan State D tough in the first quarter. Opponents averaging less than 6 points.
Well, typically Michigan State's a quick starting team. Not today.
2nd and 22. Here's Gray on a keeper trying to get outside, and he's cut down first by Isaiah Lewis and is able to get a couple more. And it's going to bring up now 3rd down and long for Minnesota.
Yeah, I like that call there. I would mind seeing them come back to that call again. You're playing against an awfully good defense. Let's just remember who they are. They're not going to go from being the 2nd-ranked defense to the worst-ranked defense. And right here in this field position, this long a distance, you don't want to make a mistake.
They lead the Big Ten in sacks, 2nd in interceptions. Gray keeping it once again. Well, when they run the ball, half of the time it's going to be Marquise Gray.
Yeah, he's 50% of the rushing offense. I know there'll be a lot of Gopher fans saying, oh, what are you doing? To me, that was the correct coaching call against here. Michigan State really mixing it up. They lined up, they showed 2 deep. The guy on the line of scrimmage went all the way back to the deep middle of the plate, 3 deep. Good job at disguising.
Martin is back now for Michigan State. Dan Orseski, the punter. Minnesota by a touchdown. It's 4th and 12. Standing at the 36 is Martin. Martin waves it off, and Orseski, that's a couple of punts that have come up short, and their offense has sputtered along a little bit here. Great field position. Nickel into Gopher territory. Nickel puts a shoulder down, ridden out of bounds by Kim Royston, in a big pickup there.
Well, you're going to see the throw. It's just a quick throw right out here, and Kyle Henderson, number 14, he's got to make that play. You're out on the perimeter, you're a corner. You can't expect safety help. Big play, poor play by the secondary.
31-yard pickup, of course. Kyle Henderson, transfer from Mankato State, playing for the injured Troy Stoudemire, has been out the last 4 games. Hand off to Bell. Bell stumbling, and he had time and he had space on the outside. He was just trying to get there.
Well, you'll see it right here and right there. You know what the coaching point is? Come on, young man, pick your feet up. You know, if you run like that, I'm going to play you at guard, because the guard, even John could have ran that through that hole.
John, that's the 3rd time he's gone after you.
No, geez, there's no breakdown here.
2nd and 9 now. Out of the I. Anderson is a fullback. Here's a give to Bell. Bell turns it up. Bell is finally cut down at the 1 yard line. Christian Lewis comes in and makes a stop, a gain of 21 yards.
Yeah, now the coaching point is, that's what I'm talking about right there. Hey, here's good blocking. You know, let's face it, they're zoning off, they're pulling around, you can get a block. Look at that hole. I mean, that's good blocking. And, you know, to be honest with you, they'll get it in the end zone. Come on. You got to do what now? I've taught you this. BYOB.
That's the end of the first quarter.
Anderson and Bell in the backfield, and the give is to Bell. Bell straight ahead. Touchdown, Spartans. Seventh touchdown of the season for Bell.
Well, just a basic goal line play, good line blocking, good kick out by the fullback. Good block right there in the line.
Juan Bennett is back. Devin Crawford Tufts. Tufts is hit hard.
Return. Tackle made by Drew Stevens.
Today's Alumni Spotlight brought to you by Case IH, and it features Sandy Stevens of Minnesota, the newest member of the College Football Hall of Fame, the quarterback, 1961 first team All-American, 1961 Big Ten MVP. He was fourth in the Heisman voting. He also played DB, and he returned punts. He was something special. Sandy Stevens, quarterback.
He did it all.
Gray on a handoff. Kirkwood trying to grind out a couple. And Donnell Kirkwood carried the ball 6 times against Iowa, just 18 yards.
You know, you guys were talking earlier about, you know, the Michigan State defense and how aggressive they are. Marquise Gray is doing a great job of using the snap count. You saw Jarrell Worthy there flinch a little bit. They're not able to get the jump that they usually get on that quarterback cadence.
Now out of the shotgun. Gray, and it floats on him. Pass intended for McKnight. It's going to be 3rd and 10 now for the Gophers.
Well, Michigan State came with what I call their favorite blitz. 4-man rush. They sent both linebackers, inside linebackers, right up the A-gap, which is great if there's a quarterback draw and awful hard to pick up pass protection-wise.
Gray started 3 of 3 since that start. He is now 1 of 4. Gray out of the shotgun. Next bullet right there. He's coming on a handoff. No place to go. And all of a sudden, that Spartans defense, they're stout now.
Well, here's the game plan by Minnesota. You can see it. They're going to do some things and mix it up. But if they get behind the chains against this defense, they're going to play it conservative. One of the reasons I think, you know, Michigan State's awful good, and they're changing up their coverage and disguising. If they throw the ball, they don't want Gray to make a big mistake.
Bennett was the ball carrier. Martin is back. He is standing at the 38-yard line. Going to be great field position once again for the Spartans. And Dan Orseski sending this one to the 34-yard line. And a 42-yard punt that time by Dan Orseski. And Cousins deep down the field to the corner. Keyshawn Martin reels it in a big pickup there. 25 yards, Coach.
Well, this is exactly what I was talking about. If you don't get help to the corner, and you'll see the Vereen right out there, if he's trying to play inside man on him, he can't handle it. Those receivers are too good. He's just a little bit outman. See, they get him to turn him on around. He has no one to need help. That's tough duty for that young man.
Bell is the running back. Anderson, the fullback in motion. The give to Bell. Keenan Cooper comes up and it makes a stop for Minnesota and a pickup of 1. Here in East Lansing, Michigan. Michigan State against Minnesota, tied at 14 with 12:37 remaining. Spartan Stadium.
Second and 9.
On the campus of Michigan State. On a beautiful November football day. Second and long. Cousins out of the shotgun. Linthicum in motion. The tight end. Cousins looks to the near side, quickly now to the tight end, Linthicum. And it's time now for a Discover Car to Game break with Dave Revson. Dave?
Third down, 4 yards to go. At Minnesota 35.
Wolverines right now with that lead, and you see the 57th meeting. The Hawkeyes last week losing to Minnesota. What's going on in Iowa City?
If you can figure it out, let me know, because I can't.
Cousins out of the shotgun. Quickly now. Martin. And he is spun around and stopped.
Johnny
Johnson on the stop.
Well, here you are. You're Minnesota. It's third down. You stop and you get off the field. Just a little 3-step pitch and catch. And, you know, it's one of those things that's going to happen. If you're really good on offense, you're going to probably be able to complete those things.
First and 10.
First and 10 now. Inside the 30 of the Gophers. We haven't seen Edwin Baker at a running back since he fumbled. It's been all Bell. The give to Bell. Bell cuts it back up inside. And Bell inside the 20 and down at the 16-yard line of the Gophers.
Well, I can tell you, if you're Tracy Claeys, the defensive coordinator, this will drive you nuts, because you can see the safety come up right there. If I'm going to gamble with my safeties up, you got to go make the play, because my corner out there, I'm probably going to give him a big play. We call that defense. You got to make the tackle in the hole. You're unblocked.
Brock Vereen missing the tackle there. Anderson, the fullback. Play action. Cousins. Duress throws it out of bounds. It's going to bring up now second down. Second and 10.
Good no call by the official there. You know, anymore it seems like you come near a quarterback, they're throwing the flags and trying to protect the quarterbacks. But that's good no call. That's good football right there.
Michael Amafala. True freshman. Second and 10 now for the Spartans. Cousins. Flushed out of the pocket. And great pressure up front that time by Minnesota.
That was great defense by Minnesota, because they'll get pressure up the middle. They're bringing a blitz. Now, Michigan State's got 2 receivers out there, and those guys are playing man on man, and the reason Cousins didn't throw the ball, they were covered. Good defense.
Michael Amafala there on the stop. It's going to bring up 3rd and 12. Third and 12 for Mark D'Antonio's team, tied at 14. Movement up front. Penalty flags are down.
Now that becomes potentially critical.
Here's John O'Neill.
False start. Offense number 51. 5-yard penalty. After the play was over. Unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 8, spiking the football. 15 yards from the end of that run. Third down.
Finodi, the right tackle, and then a rare moment for Kirk Cousins.
Well, you can see Kirk's frustration with all the shuffling that's going on up front. He's got a new center, a new guard, a little miscommunication in terms of when they were going, who's making the calls. He just took a hit. It'll be interesting to see how he handles this moment and what kind of leadership he brings to this offense to overcome this 3rd and long.
He's too smart for that, though. He's just taking them out of field goal range by doing that if they don't convert here.
Coming off of a frustrating week in Nebraska, he said it was as if they were in our huddle. The Cornhuskers, 3rd and 32. Cousins, deep down the middle of the field, incomplete. B.J. Cunningham almost made a phenomenal catch. Laid out.
Now look at that right there. I mean, that guy is the leading receiver in Michigan State history. You'd bet the house he'd pull that one in. You know, I used to call that when I coached defense, foul ball. It's a foul ball. Could have been a home run, but it was a foul ball.
Big throw. And Cunningham unable to bring it in. Green is back. Sadler, the punter, and calling for a fair catch. He is able to take it right at the 7, 31-yard punt. And Michigan State unable to get anything going there offensively. That last series, you take a look at the Legends division. That's why today is so big for the Spartans. Michigan, Nebraska, Michigan State. You see the leaders division, Penn State leading the way.
Well, let's see what happens here. You know, in Minnesota's first 3 drives, they did pretty good. 12 plays, 120 yards. The last 2 drives, 6 plays, -1 yards.
Juan Bennett is the running back. Green in motion. Gray on a keeper. Gray going off tackle, trying to break the tackle and unable to do it. Trenton Robinson comes in and makes a big stop.
Oh, he makes a great read. He comes all the way in from that safety position. And, you know, let me tell you something. You better bring your lunch when you go to tackle Marquise Gray. That's an all-day job right there.
And the Bay City, Michigan native, the senior, comes in and makes the stop. 2nd and 10. Gray out of his own end zone finds a receiver. It's McKnight again. And it's a first down and a pickup of 21, Coach.
Well, that is excellent coaching right there, because you're going to see Michigan State, they bring the corner blitz, and he gets picked up. That leaves the wide receiver wide open. If he's not picked up by the front, he'll be rushed. Great play.
1st and 10 at the 28. Bennett, the running back. Gray out of the pocket. Watch out, he can go. Tucks it under, and he's going to pick up about 4 yards. And Ellsworth comes in. Kyler Ellsworth on the stop. Knotted at 14. And officially, it's going to be a 3-yard pickup for Marquise Gray. Gray in the air, 5 of 8, 118 yards. And also doing some work on the ground as well. 8 carries, 33 yards.
Great pass. He is complete.
And McGarry, Colin McGarry, tight end. This offense, compared to what we've seen in the past, they're really clicking. Stay tuned for the Buffalo Wild Wings halftime report with scores and highlights from all of today's action. And mixing it up. And Matt Limegrover has what he wants.
Well, what I've been impressed, the last 2 times that Michigan State's brought pressure, that last time with 2 linebackers up the middle, the one before corner blitz, they picked it up and got sizable yardage.
Bennett is the running back. The give to Bennett. Bennett stumbles. And Ellsworth is there. John?
Yeah, Coach was talking about picking up that blitz, and it's what is really surprising is that with the patchwork offensive line that they have, they've been able to communicate those corner blitzes. You know, on that pass that Marquise Gray had to start this drive, the left tackle was able to bump a linebacker and a corner. They know who they have. They know, and Marquise Gray knows who is hot.
Gray. And 2nd and 10 out of the shotgun. Gray looks to the left, comes back underneath, and John Rabe is there to make the catch. And it's going to bring up now 3rd down. And Isaiah Lewis, a sophomore from Indianapolis, Indiana, He is there with the tackle. 3rd and 7.
3rd down and 7.
Well, if they stay what they've been doing, we'll go with quarterback draw, maybe bubble screen, maybe something conservative. They don't want to make a mistake. Michigan State's been a good job of disguising in this situation.
Penalty markers are down.
Offense, number 53. 5-yard penalty, repeat 3rd down.
And John, that's Tommy Olson.
Number 52.
I was just about to say, Tommy Olson out with a high ankle sprain, and it's 52, Zach Epping.
What happened there, Matt, is Ray's trying to hold his offense a little bit longer because I mentioned Michigan State's doing a lot of disguising. Once again, they lined up like they were coming, and then the guy in the line of scrimmage, safety, is running all the way back to the deep middle. He wants them to tip their hand before the snap.
3rd and 12. Timeout taken by Minnesota.
Team timeout, Minnesota. They're first.
Jerry Kill wants a timeout on 3rd and 12 with 5:38 remaining in the second quarter. Gray, play action, looks downfield, fires, and it's caught. Marquise Gray has been so impressive as he hooks up with true freshman Devin Crawford Tufts.
Well, Michigan State went with their 3 down lineman rush, which is harder for him to contain. There's only 3 guys rushing. He kept it alive, kept his eyes downfield. Crawford Tufts has come out of nowhere. He had 2 big catches for 100 yards. Big catch there.
61-yard catch a week ago and a 39-yard catch a week ago. You see the passing numbers today against, quite simply, the best D in the Big Ten. And
offside with contact. Defense, number 99. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Jarrell Worthy. Now, 2 weeks ago against Wisconsin, no penalties. Last week against Nebraska, 9 for Michigan State.
Yeah, against Wisconsin, that was the first thing he said. Mark D'Antonio after the game, 0 penalties. I remember him saying that.
Gray on this drive, Coach, 4 for 54 yards. Green in motion. Gray, and this time brought down. No place to escape to. And Jarrell Worthy and Allen are right there on the stop. And there's John Jansen in action right there, Coach.
Man, you got 57. You got him locked up.
How about 77 here?
This. Did you see the size of his hand? When he shook my hand, you know what? Holding's cheating, John. I'm telling you.
No, there's no holding there. Everything was legal.
Yeah. And how about the title ring too? You know, we're here at Michigan State. He was waving that thing all around yesterday.
I know it. A lot of bling, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
I did wear a green shirt yesterday, just as a little piece of it.
Yeah, as an offset.
Bennett, the ball carrier.
And Bennett, the ball carrier, and brought down at the 30.
Isaiah Lewis on the tackle.
And there he is right there. And one of the greats up front. Yeah, you got your blue on today, and there's the ring. See?
Yeah.
See the ring?
I just want to make sure you guys caught a little glimpse of that.
Have you ever seen an offensive line? He had a green shirt. It was one of those with the little alligators on it. I couldn't believe it.
Hey, I know I've got that face for radio. But,
great to have you along. Under 4 minutes remaining in the first half. A give once again. Bennett trying to grind it out straight up the middle. And that Spartan defense doesn't allow him to get anywhere. Ellsworth is there. And Golston as well. And Golston back last week after a game suspension.
Second down and 9.
William Golston, a sophomore from Detroit.
What I'm impressed with, Jerry Kill and his staff, they have a plan to execute this offense. They're pounding in there, pounding in there, pounding there, a little trick here, a little trick there, throw the ball. And as long as you're in the game, you keep doing that.
Second down and 9. Here's Gray. Gray to the air. McKnight, and another first down. And Tony Lippett comes in and makes a stop. He started last week against Nebraska. Tony spent some time on the offense, and they've moved him to corner.
You know, really a good plan. They know they have problems up front. They're doing a lot of three-step drop. But, you know, Marquis great. Are you impressed the way he's throwing the ball today? Confident, know where he's going. Good spiral out there.
Well, he's a dual threat, but unlike some other dual threats around the country, he's 6'4", 240. So you got a lot to handle. Bennett, the ball carrier, inside the 10. They're mixing it up, Coach. And right now, Minnesota on an impressive drive. Lewis and Adams there on the stop.
Well, you know, it's good blocking. I mean, look at that. I mean, there's a seam to run through there, goes all the way to safety. You have a running play and it goes all the way safety, that's good offense.
12 plays, 85 yards.
Against the #2 national ranked defense in the country. Very impressive.
You talked about at the top what that win a week ago did for this Golden Gopher team. And Gray's cut down.
I love the call, it just didn't work. You know, that's the...
Well, they're showing a lot of things, but they're doing a lot of the same things.
Yeah, exactly. They're running their offense. I mean, they didn't redesign something in a week. They're doing what they think they have the best chance of. You know, you can't recreate something, and you're going against an awful good defense, and it's not what you do, it's how you execute. And to be quite honest with you, they're executing a lot better than Michigan State is, both sides of the ball.
Michigan State with their hands full here at home at Spartan Stadium. 3rd and 4.
Charge team timeout, Minnesota, their second timeout.
And Minnesota wants to use a timeout with 1:14 remaining here in this second quarter. Gray goes up to his center, now back out of the shotgun. Michigan State bringing it. Gray pump fakes again to the end zone. Incomplete.
Intended for Crawford Tuck.
I'm half surprised he just didn't pull that down and run. It looked like he had a lot of green grass in front of him.
4 yards to go.
Offense did a good job of picking up those linebackers going up the middle. Now watch, they're covered. Now he takes off. He fakes that guy out. He's hard. One guy hard to take down. I'm surprised he didn't run it.
Going for Crawford Tufts. Here's Jordan Wetstein. Last week against Iowa, it was only his second football game ever. Picked earlier in the season against North Dakota State. It's a 27-yard attempt. It's 1 for 1 this season. And the field goal is good. It's 17-14 for Jerry Kill's team here against the 17th ranked Michigan State Spartans. And a week ago, they shocked Iowa at home. And after the game, this was the scene inside the locker room.
If you don't think people don't care about the game of football at the University of Minnesota, you think about all those lettermen that were in here today. I guarantee you those guys are going crazy right now. You made their day. All the people in the state, they are starving. They are starving for this.
And a big win, his first in the Big Ten, and he's talked a lot about what you did at Minnesota, quite frankly, when you talk to Jerry Kill and wants to get back to those times.
Well, Jerry is an outstanding football coach. I keep telling everybody up in the Twin Cities area, this is not her first rodeo. I've watched what he did those other stops, and I've watched his teams on film. He's a good football coach, and you can see that. This team is improving as the year goes on. It's not easy. If it was easy, everybody'd do it. But he's got them ready to play today, and like I mentioned, when I stopped by practice Tuesday, you could feel this team has got new life.
And they're showing it here in the first half against Michigan State. Michigan State a little bit back on their heels. Hill and Bell are back at the 10-yard line. Jordan Wetstein to boot it. Hill's going to take it at the goal line. Here comes Nick Hill trying to get to the outside, and he's wrapped up and brought down. And Michigan State, with 56 seconds remaining here in this second quarter, down by a field goal.
Yeah, and all the Spartan faithful want him to, you know, really go here. And but worst thing you can do with 58 seconds less to go in the half is make a mistake, give the Gophers good field position, turn the ball over, something like that, and really make things exciting.
So Cousins out of the shotgun. Bell is the running back. He's going to throw it underneath to Bell. Bell turns it upfield. And Bell is down at the 37-yard line before Aaron Hill makes a stop. And the clock is at 49 seconds. And Cousins gets him going once again out of the gun. Cousins looks to the sideline. And that one is reeled in by Nickel, Keith Nickel, the transfer from Oklahoma.
Really smart by Keith Nickel. Catch the ball, get out of bounds. Time is more important than yardage unless you have to get the first down.
Well, now 39 seconds remaining here in this second quarter. Nickel with a touchdown reception earlier in this game. Cousins, fifth-year senior. Quickly now to the near side, B.J. Cunningham. And Cunningham is finally forced out of bounds at the 36-yard line, and a big pickup there for the Spartans, an 18-yard gain into Gopher territory before Brock Vereen runs him out of bounds.
Well, that's what happens. You know, you don't want to give up the big play, but if you play too cautious, they just move the ball at you. And, you know, they got dangerous receivers, and you know, Cousins got the ability to be a very effective passer. So.
Absolutely, especially at home. You look at it, the numbers at home compared to the road. Big time. Here's Cousins with time. Quickly now, finds his favorite target once again in Cunningham. I mean, just moving it down. Kim Royston on the stop. But Cousins working this clock perfectly, as you would expect a fifth-year senior to do. Pick up a 14 and a timeout.
Yeah, and you know the thing, they don't waste much time getting up the line of scrimmage. Clock stops on the first down, but they're going to use a timeout. They don't want to use one in their pocket. You'll see it right here. I mean, they almost got to him. Pitch and catch, goes to his go-to guy, B.J. Cunningham, leading receiver, Michigan State history.
Keyshawn Martin was stepping in there like, hey, toss it to me. I got an open lane.
I'm a little surprised they used the timeout there, though. With the clock stopped, you know, even if they wanted to reorganize, you could have clocked it, you know, snap it, and then be able to huddle. So obviously there's some point being made here. What it is, we'll find out.
A history of great wide receivers here at Michigan State, and B.J. Cunningham had his name to the list. 1st and 10. 5 wide. Cousins out of the pocket. Cousins on the run. Cousins overthrows Bell, but he was directing traffic out there, saying go break to the end zone, and the pass just sailed on him a little bit.
You're exactly right, but he's saying go, 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 man. And you know the thing about it, you work on that all the time. See, that's a mistake by Bell. When the quarterback breaks to you, you go deep. You work on that all the time. You got to pull everybody away. You want to pull that defender away or get open. If you don't get open, he'll go with you. Then lets the quarterback run the ball. That's a mistake by Bell.
Cousins on this drive, 4 of 5 for 52 yards. It's 2nd and 10. Cousins under pressure to the end zone. Pass is incomplete, and it's now going to be 3rd down with 15 seconds left.
Well, you'll see they bring the corner blitz here. You'll see him right here. They do a pretty good job of picking him up. They let him get out of the. You know, I'm really surprised if they could have saw that coming, because the one thing that they've been effective and Minnesota struggled on, if you run any type of flag route or out route when that corner is one-on-one out there, and you saw the receiver just kind of stopped.
Cunningham at the bottom of your screen. Bell in motion to the top of your screen. Cousins looks to his right quickly, finds Bell. Bell out of bounds. Brock Vereen rides him out of bounds, and 11 seconds remaining here in this first half.
Well, you got at least time for 2 plays and kick the field goal if it doesn't work. Let's face it, possibly 3, depending on what goes on.
Cousins looks over, has the play called now. Back in the huddle. First and goal. 11 seconds remaining, down by 3 here.
You need something
first
quick.
Half.
You need something quick so you can get 2 plays. You know, if he dances around back there too long, too much time, you'll have to kick the field goal.
Quickly now to B.J. Cunningham, and flags are down. B.J. Cunningham was all wrapped up with no place to go.
Pass interference. Defense number 5. Foul occurred in the end zone. By rule, the ball will be placed at the 2-yard line. First down.
Johnny Johnson, the senior from Chicago.
Well, he's got it. You know what? He looked back. He had his hands on him, and he looked back too late.
First down, goal.
You know what I never understood? It's pass interference in the end zone. Why would they put the ball in the 1 rather than the 2, huh?
We should bring that up. Later point, maybe with Jerry. You guys can talk. Touchdown! Todd Anderson, the fullback. How about that drive by Cousins and the Spartans?
Well, that little play right there, line up the I formation, and you'll see the fullback slip out. Some people call it a flow pass. I'm going to tell you, on the goal line, that is so hard to defend. You call it at the right time, it always works.
Cousins is all fired up. Michigan State up 20-17. Dan Conroy is on. And it is now 21-17, 8 plays, 66 yards. And they understand they have to win out to get there, and they need a little bit of help along the way. Evan Muma sends it bouncing on the ground, and ball is going to be down at the 31-yard line.
You saw Kirk Cousins on the sideline. What that told me right there, what I read there, Matt, yeah, he's excited scoring, but he's telling his guys, let's go, what's going on, let's go, let's go. It's like, we're not ready to play this game, let's go.
You know, it was interesting in talking to Trenton Robinson, the defensive back safety for Michigan State. He said, last week we didn't have that spark against Nebraska. And it was, didn't execute on both sides of the ball. He said, we got to have that spark. So Minnesota is going to run out the clock here in this first half. Crawford toughs his back along with Bennett. Crawford toughs, fumbles it. And then out of bounds and out of the end zone.
He fumbled at the right place, though. Out of the end zone, not on the 1-yard line. Could have been disastrous.
And for the true freshman, he escapes that moment.
Well, you know, it's amazing when guys get their opportunity. Big game against Iowa last week. People didn't even know who Tufts was, and he comes off the bench. 2 receptions, 100 yards, leading receiver.
All right, so first and 10 for Marquise Gray, down by 4 to begin the third quarter. Bennett is the running back. Bennett stumbles forward. He's able to gobble up 2 on the carry, and William Galston is there for the tackle.
You know, really, we talk about that defensive line. You know, big names there, big players. We haven't been calling their names very much today.
You know, first against the pass, second total D, 6 scoring D. They give up just 15 a game. Minnesota was 17 in the first half. Lead the Big Ten in sacks, second in interceptions. Gray to the air, and right at the first down marker. And a McKnight, his favorite target of the day, and it's going to be first and 10. And Gray has progressed this season. There's no doubt about that.
Oh, but just what? I mean, it's a good route, and Marquise puts the ball right on the money. Gray looks better today than any time I've ever seen him.
I would agree with you. Isaiah Lewis on the stop. McKnight, bottom of your screen. They give to Bennett. Bennett trying to get to the edge. Fumbles it. And the Gophers are going to be able to recover it and keep it. That thing popped out. William Golston, you talk about big names. There's one there trying to make a play.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you, anytime you see the rear tip of the ball, you've got a chance to get out of that. Could have been disastrous.
Michigan State fumbled it earlier in the first half. Edwin Baker, who had a huge game last year against Minnesota, and since fumbling it, we haven't seen him. Gray to the air, right over the middle to the tight end, Colin McGarry. And McGarry, and they're moving it.
They sure are. Colin McGarry, young man from Stillwater, Minnesota.
Fifth-year senior.
Happened to run into his mom this morning at the hotel, Jenny McGarry. She's a surgical nurse. I remember recruiting his older brother, and Colin. But the execution of Minnesota is really impressive.
Out of the shotgun. And the give, Kirkwood trying to bounce off of the Spartans, unable to do it. Max Bullock right there. And Kirkwood with no place to go. And it's a loss of a yard. It's going to be second down now and 11.
We've seen this game plan unfold the whole game. Run inside on first down, see what you do, hopefully get it to a workable down and distance, then do something a little bit flashier. If that doesn't work, third and long, play very conservative, and hang in this game, just don't make a mistake.
Before the snap, charge timeout, Minnesota. First timeout.
34 yards rushing, both of them with 2 touchdown strikes. Gray finds a receiver, and a first down as Allen comes over, and Green is pinballed around, knocked around, but it's a first down, and coming out of the timeout, Gophers pick up a big one there.
Well, it's second and long, and it's the second time in this game that Jerry Kill called timeout, and the shot clock wasn't good. So what happened was either he found out what the play was called by the offensive coordinator, didn't like it, or they didn't like what they saw defensively, called timeout and changed it.
Green got knocked around there. Here's a give, Bennett looking for a hole. Bennett still moving those feet. And Bennett is stopped by Ellsworth.
Coach, as you know, Coach, as you know, every possession is so important. And for them to be able to call that timeout, you talk about, making sure they have the right play. For Minnesota, the margin of error is much smaller.
Well, you talked about DeJuan Bennett. I thought he ran exceptionally hard a week ago against Iowa. When you mentioned he keeps his feet going. That's what makes a good backup.
2nd and 6. Play action. Gray to the near side. Reeled in a big-time catch. Sean Harris, a junior from Corona, California.
Well, yeah, this is a great throw and a great catch. It's even better protection. I cannot say enough about the job that those 5 guys up front are doing.
219 yards in the air for Gray. That is a career high. He has been impressive here today against the second best defense in the land, and Gray turns it upfield.
But they've got a plan. We keep saying it. Run the ball on first down, see what happens. If you get enough, we can mix it up. If not, if you get behind the chains, now they're in the red zone, so it might be a little bit different. and then open it up a little bit. You get behind the chains, you know what? Play conservative, come back to play another series. I like it because it's working.
And they're also getting him out of the pocket. And does that neutralize the defense a little bit because you're concerned about using his feet?
Absolutely. He is dangerous anytime he has his hands on the ball.
Gray quickly across the middle, broken up and almost picked off by Trenton Robinson. The pass intended for Eric Laird.
You know, let's watch it right here. Again, good protection. He can stand in the pocket, almost a volleyball interception. You know, in Marquise's Gray's defense, going into this game, his receivers had dropped 17 balls. You know, that makes the quarterback look bad. They were playing really well in this game because they were catching the ball, and they should catch it. He's putting it right on the money.
3rd and 7. 11th play.
Let's go with the fade. John McKnight, let's go to the fade.
And
Delay of game, offense. 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
can't have that. But Minnesota, delay of game.
You know, when I was coaching, I used to get very mad at the quarterback. He's got to be aware of that. But in modern day football, when you can call timeout from the sideline, I always used to put that on us, on me.
McKnight, Green, are the receivers. Gray into the end zone, touchdown. McKnight got behind the D, and a touchdown for the Gophers.
How impressive is that? You know, they lined up in a loaded formation into the short side, really a run formation. They play action, but again, look at the time the line's given them. It's exceptional.
And this is, and we keep saying, this is the top D in the Big Ten, second best in the country. Wetstein is on for the extra point. And Minnesota, and all of a sudden mentally you get a little bit down. Well, good things happen, and then all of a sudden you start feeling like, hey, you know what, everything's going to go all right. And they played that way today. Taken at the 10-yard line and trying to get outside. And Nick Hill is cut down. And how about the day for McKnight? 7 catches, 144 yards, 3 touchdowns. He's got 4 this year. He's got 3 of them on the day, 15 in his career. Big time effort.
Well, we were talking before the game, he had 10 last year. He's an outstanding receiver. But maybe they haven't had time to throw the ball. He's been under. I mean, I think that the most surprising thing in this game so far is the play of the Minnesota offensive line.
Anderson, the fullback, Bell, the running back. Cousins under center. Swings it to the near side. He's on Martin, sidesteps. Martin down, and he's pushed out of bounds. Let's see what Kirk Cousins can do here with this offense.
Well, you know, they ran this play earlier. If you remember, the Gopher corner let him get outside. He did his job. Brock Green did a good job forcing inside. Then the posse's got to get there.
Minnesota by 3. John?
Well, you know, you look at that the play that they keep running there. It allows that offensive line to come off the ball and be aggressive, and it really opens up the opportunity to get downfield and block for the receivers as well.
Cousins, quick strike, and Brock Farine comes up and nails Keyshawn Martin. And Martin slow to get up.
I want to tell you something. Brock Farine played that play as well as you could play it. Watch it right here. They're lucky this ball wasn't picked off.
Big stick.
You know, sometimes from a coaching perspective, on the split of the receiver, coaches, defensive coaches will be able to say, hey, you know what? He cheats out a little bit on the slant. If you see him do it, go ahead and take a chance. That might have happened there.
Cousins hands off to Bell. Bell can't get outside. Michigan State talking to the coaches, a little bit uneasy about what's going on up front. And you can see there just the push that the D-line for Minnesota has and to string out Bell. That run game.
Yeah, the Michigan State offensive line isn't getting any push up front. They're not getting any movement. They're going left to right the whole time. They need to start getting north and south and creating some lanes for these running backs.
58 yards on the ground for Michigan State. One would expect so much more. Cousins handles a high snap. Cousins in trouble. Now floats it outside to Bell. Scoops it up. Play live. Bell running down the sideline. Bell continues to go. Bell into the end zone.
I think you're going to have to look at this one.
They're calling it a touchdown. 57 yards on the field. John O'Neill, the referee.
The ruling of touchdown in the previous play is under further review.
They go off the Eli Manning.
What do you think, Coach? Was that a forward pass?
It's lateral at best.
And so they're going to take a look at it.
I think it's a lateral. I don't think it's forward. I think he got it right. Watch it.
And John O'Neill in communication with Verl Sell. And what do coaches always say? Play to what?
Play to the whistle. Now, if I was going to be trying to defensive of that player, how many times you see him flag for hitting a defenseless receiver? Let's watch it here. So there, it looks like he's coming. Watch it lands though. Oh man. So you want to be a coach, huh?
You know, let's also take a look here. Is he down before he tosses it? No, he is not. That's a good view there. You see Kyle Henderson just come up as if the play is dead. Under an official review. Remember, they need indisputable video evidence. It is the only standard that is used to reverse a call on the field. Indisputable video evidence. Vercel, replay official in communication with John O'Neill right now as they go over that play. We'll take another look at it. Cousins wrapped up. He was not down. Keenan Cooper was a linebacker there.
And you know, that word you keep using, indisputable, that's a big word.
Yeah. Kyle Henderson, you see Henderson coming up.
It's not maybe, it's indisputable.
It's called a touchdown on the field. It is under review. Bell scooped it up and ran right down the sideline. It would be his second touchdown of the game. If it stands, his 8th touchdown of the season.
Minnesota's acting on the sideline like it's coming back.
Yeah.
After further review, it was an incomplete forward pass. It'll be 4th down and 8 yards to go at the 44-yard line. Please reset the game clock to 8 minutes, 20 seconds.
You know, the first look at it, it looked as though it was just slightly off that angle, as if it was a forward pass. And look at where he releases it to where it lands. And it crossed that 40-yard line marker.
I think Minnesota's real fortunate there was a white line there for a point of reference.
Sadler back to punt. Sadler is hit. Flag is down. Minnesota just escaped trouble, and they're right back in it.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker. 25 defense. 15 yards from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
Devon Wright.
That comes into the category, coaching category of you gotta be kidding me.
1st and 10 now for the Spartans. Can they take advantage? Kirk Cousins comes out, 17th ranked Michigan State. And I'm talking to everyone here in East Lansing. He said our goals are still in front of us. Well, right now they trail Minnesota by 3. Their goal to get to the title game of the Big Ten. And for the first time since he fumbled the football, Edwin Baker back in the game, stretched outside. And no place to go as Cooper comes up and knocks him down.
Now you got to remember, here's the worst rushing team in the league in Michigan State against the next to worst rushing defense in the league, and Michigan State can't run a lick.
Why do you think that is?
It's got to be the guys up front. They got good running backs. I mean, they're not going anywhere. You need blockers.
Cousins. And Brian Lithicum on the reception. And Lithicum, the tight end, run out of bounds by Mike Rawlis. And it's going to be 3rd and short.
How many times have we watched and we see a big run and everybody's congratulating the running back or touching and say, no one touched him, you know? Well, all of a sudden, when you're not going any place, it goes the other way. And there's not much blocking going on there.
All right, well, here it is, 3rd and 2. Cousins out of the shotgun. 3 wide receivers, bottom of your screen, 2 to the top. Cousins looks to the right, now fires over the middle, incomplete. That tells you right there, it's 3rd and short. You got 5 wide receiver running out of the gun instead of saying, hey, let's give it to Baker or Bell and jam it right down the middle.
Well, you're right. And the other thing, on this position in the field, you'd be saying, because they're going to go for it on 4th down, you'd say, I got 2 downs. 2 downs, run it. Let's go. You get it close, I'll quarterback sneak it. Couldn't agree with you more, partner.
4th and 2 now. Here's a give. Baker straight up the middle. And the big guys up front, John Jansen, going to work a little bit as Mike Rawlis finally makes a stop.
Yeah, it's nice to see the number finally get called in a critical situation, but I'm with Coach. At 3rd and short, you're in a position where you know you're going to run the ball twice. Why not just try and pick up half and then shove it down their throat with the next run?
17 runs on the day for the Spartans, 63 yards on the ground. Baker, the running back, cutting it to the near side, spun around on first contact and then wrapped up and brought down. Cooper was there, Tinsley there.
And I'm sure, Coach, you can probably mention something on this as well. The running backs are having to make their cuts 1 or 2 yards in the backfield. You don't want that running back to have to make a cut until they get into that line of scrimmage. And right now, they're not able to do that.
John, exactly right. You want the back to make his cut on the other side of the line of scrimmage. Exactly what you're talking about.
2nd and 10 now. Cousins under center. Play action. Cousins rolling out. Tinsley right there. Brought down. Amafala there as well. I mean, this is a team that does not have many sacks. They don't put much pressure on the quarterback. but they had Cousins all over the place. Hey, the Gopher pressure.
But along with that, with him out of the pocket, a quarterback with that type of experience, you would expect him to throw it away. You know, I think John would agree with me too on that 3rd and short. All linemen like to run the football, and when you call something out on a run, that's sending a message to them, and it's not a good message.
3rd down. Cousins with a long way to go. Underneath the Bell. And you can hear him here. Not happy. And East Lansing.
And we know how important emotion and momentum is in the game of football. Right now, Minnesota coming off that big win at Iowa, coming off a big first half in East Lansing here. They've got all the emotion and all the momentum right now.
You know, coming into this afternoon's game, Gophers with just 8 sacks on the season. That's 112th in the NCAA. And against the run, they allow over 200 yards a game. Sadler was almost able to get that thing to come to rest. How about Minnesota? The Gophers leading here at Michigan State by a field goal. Gray keeps it, fakes everyone out. And the dangerous Marquise Gray picks up 4. And Trenton Robinson with the tackle. 13 carries, 41 yards for Marquise Gray, Coach.
I agree with you. That was a great fake by Marquise. Also a great fake by Dewan Bennett. He carried the fake out all the way to the place where he got tackled. Excellent job and excellent coaching.
2nd and 6. And a pitch now to Crawford Tufts. Tufts trying to cut back upfield, and he's out of bounds at the 30-yard line. And Allen comes over to make the stop. Devin Crawford Tufts, the true freshman. It's going to be 3rd down now and short. He's getting action because of the injury that ended the season for another true freshman, Marcus Jones. 3 of 7 on 3rd down for the Gophers. Third and short.
3rd down's the most important down in football. When it's this short, the advantage goes to the offense.
Gray on an option gets the 1st down. And Kirkwood and Bennett in the backfield. A fake pitch, squares up the shoulders and gets the 1st down. Isaiah and Bulla there for the stop.
Well, you see their favorite blitz, those linebackers going up in the middle, a little cross down. I'm going to tell you, they're selling out, which is good, but I'm going to tell you, when you sell out like that, watch out. It's picked up, it's a big play going the other way, and they can't afford that right now.
Minnesota with the lead. Out of the shotgun, Gray in trouble. And there's the pressure that everyone here has been expecting, as Golston is right there. And a loss.
Yeah, I don't know if you'll see it here, but they're lucky they had that type of pressure, because Colin McGarry, the tight end, was open right down the seam.
Golston, 8.5 tackles for loss coming in. 2nd down now and 15.
We talk about the momentum, and the Gophers have had it. It'll be interesting to see if that play there will swing the momentum back to the Spartans.
Handoff straight up the middle, trying to get 5 or 6 out of it. Bennett is the ball carrier.
Anthony Rashad White.
And it's going to be 3rd down now and 12. Only a pickup of 3.
You know, the Spartans were glad to get Anthony Rashad White back. He's been injured. They think he's a big-time player, and they need him in this game.
Well, coming into the season, they expected him to start. There's a 5 bruise, but he's limited this season. 3rd and 12 now for the Gophers. Here comes Bulla. Pass picked off. Trenton Robinson and Max Bulla applying the pressure. And Robinson with his 3rd interception of the season.
Well, here's what we're talking about. You know, the receiver isn't going to get open, but I'm going to tell you something. The line, there was pressure there. You'll see Max Bulla, number 40, they're in a 3-man defensive line. He comes, they don't pick him up, and then all of a sudden, Marquise Gray is standing tall, throws off his back leg, and that is exactly, you know, they kind of departed from what they've been doing. I kept saying, run in the middle, saying 3rd and long, play it conservative, punt it away. That time they passed. Credit Michigan State coming with the blitz.
1st and 10 for the Spartans. Cousins with time to throw, and he hooks up. A pickup of 18 yards.
Well, this is a staple for them. You know, they're going max protection, keep both backs in, he stands tall. And you know, if the corner's playing soft and you give that kind of receiver, that type of cushion, that protection for that type of quarterback, Cousins going to put the ball in the money.
Benny Fowler said they wanted to get him on the field for some action. He's had a foot injury for 9 weeks to the near side.
Benny Fowler slips to
Fowler
21.
stumbling there. So going to Fowler back to back.
That was not well executed by Cousins. You'll see he throws this ball behind the receiver a little bit. You see how he has to turn a little bit? You want that ball right in front of him, keeping going downhill. Everybody else say, well, Fowler dropped it. That was a poor pass.
2nd down now and 8. Bell is the running back. Anderson, the fullback. Nickel and Fowler on the top of the screen. Bell, no place to go. Bottled up front.
They went to an unbalanced formation. You know, you're right, there was no place to run there. That was like a wall. They're getting no movement up front.
Anthony Jacobs feeling good up front. Ben Perry feeling good up front. Coverage starts at 7 o'clock Eastern Friday on BTN. Cousins out of the pocket, looks downfield into the end zone and almost picked off. You know, you're talking about this run game, and here's a pass into the end zone, Coach.
You know, typically you throw back, he's covered. I mean, they're lucky that isn't picked off.
Aaron
That's
Hill's
a
right there.
bad decision. Now, I can tell you, I don't know if this field goal is going to be good or not. This is still a win for Minnesota. That offense turned the ball over on the short side of the 50 and to hold Michigan State to a field goal attempt, that's a win.
40-yard attempt. 40 to 49 yards this year. Dan Conroy, 2 of 2. And this one right through the middle. Bennett, Crawford Tufts back. The freshman at the 11, Crawford Tufts. Is cut down at the 28-yard line. And, you know, we talked about the run game or the lack thereof for Michigan State, and this is amazing. Bell had a run of 21 yards. The other 19 runs for Michigan State, a total of 29 yards.
You know, Matt, there's an old saying in coaching, either you're getting better or you're getting worse. You never stay the same. Michigan State dead last in rushing. You got to remember they're playing the next to last rushing defense. They're getting worse. They're not getting better.
Let's see what Marquise Gray can do here.
Bennett,
straight up the middle. Dewan Bennett. Michigan State, their defense has been neutralized too, right?
Yeah, you know, they really have, and that's why I keep going back, and I'm giving a lot of credit to that Minnesota offensive line. Why? Because they deserve it. It's a, you know, they're playing against a top-ranked defense, outstanding defensive line, and they have more than held their own today.
2nd and 8 now for the Gophers. Gray bottled up and brought down, and Max Bulla with a big-time stop. Sprint Unlimited update, and McKnight with a touchdown. Nickel a touchdown. And then McKnight a great grab, and Bell rushing touchdown. Anderson. Minnesota with McKnight once again. 3 touchdown receptions on the afternoon. Here's Gray. Gray with time and throws it low.
Now, credit Pat Narduzzi. The last 3rd and long, he brought pressure. That time he got up on the line and he faked it, dropped off the coverage, and it looked like Marquise Gray rushed that ball a little bit.
4th and 9.
Let me ask you this. Pat Narduzzi always comes out of the press box someplace during the game.
Yeah.
I bet he's down there now.
Well, that is true. It started back in Cincinnati. Martin is back. Narduzzi, the defensive coordinator, is upstairs for the first 3 quarters and then comes down at the start of the 4th. Martin handles it at the 31, and Martin looking to get outside. Past the 40, spins around and brought down at the 42-yard line.
Tackle made by 43.
10-yard return. Bell is the running back. Cousins under center. Cousins to the near side. It is caught in a first down. And Keyshawn Martin with the catch. A senior and a pickup of 14, Coach.
Yeah, this is nice. You know, he's under a little bit of pressure there. A half step slower and they don't get it, but it seems like they've been very effective in the passing attack going to those out routes on those corners.
They like that action on the outside. 1st and 10, Cousins now. The shotgun. Handoff. Bell grinding out a few yards, and Tinsley with a stop. All right, let's go to Dave Refson in the studio for a Discover card game break. Ref?
6 yards on the play. 2nd down and 4.
How about that one?
It is November, isn't it?
Yes. And what's November for?
It's for contenders. But they're pretending today.
Cousins. Up top, Martin. Martin to the outside with the first down now. And Martin brought out of bounds by Cooper.
Now that play, what we call a bubble screen, that's nothing more than the running game.
Flag down on the play.
Run.
Holding. Offense number 3. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Repeat 2nd down.
That's B.J. Cunningham.
Well, you know, this is what we call as an all-day block, and you can see his hands are wrapped around the back of Brock Vereen. John, did you see that, John?
I knew it was coming. You got to give me a break. Now, I'll tell you what he did wrong there. It's not necessarily his hand placement, but when the defender turned to run away, he's got to let go. If he lets go, he's not going to get called. Those are the tricks of the trade.
John, you knew he was coming your way.
He had his hand around his back, John.
Here's Baker, Edwin Baker. And Baker close to the first down.
5-yard line.
Lewis is there for the stop.
Well, here's just a little quick pitch out of the shotgun, getting him on the perimeter.
11 yards gained.
Running tight, pretty good. Missed the block, but gets north and south. Now it's 3rd and 1, John. Come on, John. We got to run the ball and get that first down, don't we?
Yeah, this is that same situation they were in on this end of the field. 3rd and 1, you're not going to punt. Go ahead and smash that ball in there. You got 2 downs to get a first.
Yep. The only other thing you do here, if you're really running the ball, well, you go for the home run with a play action. But I'd run the ball. I agree with you.
Anderson in motion. Bell. Here's the running back. Here it is. Bell with a first down. Bell has the end zone inside. Bell. Touchdown, Spartans. Le'Veon Bell with a touchdown. All he needed were a couple of inches, and he got more than that. 35-yard gain.
No, what they need is me and John calling the play. We'd have called this a long time ago, but you know, that's what you would expect. That's what Michigan State has to do if they really want to contend for this title coming down the stretch.
Three-way tie at the top of the Legends division. Conroy. Prior to that drive. Michigan State 50 yards rushing. On that drive, 52, and of course Bell, so much of that. And rolling around, Malcolm Moulton takes it, great coverage. And the Spartans right there and energized after that touchdown. All right, time now for the Nissan Heisman history. There's only Heisman between these two schools. Bruce Smith, 1941 winner for the Gophers. It's the only Heisman winner.
It's really unbelievable the position of the Michigan State program that they don't have one someplace along the line.
Gray. Downfield, Gray. And it's incomplete for Colin McGarry.
I'm going to tell you,
had McGarry.
He was open the whole time. It had to be I don't know if you can see him, but just watch that guy right there. He is off the screen now, but he is wide open. He's bending over to get covered. Guy had to come from the other side of the field. They would have looked right away. He would have gone a long way.
All right, 2nd and 10 now. Bennett is the running back. 3 wide receivers. Bottom of your screen. The give, Bennett. Bennett driving forward, and it's going to bring up 3rd down, and now they're pushing and shoving around in there. That's what John Jansen likes to do, get in there, a little extra.
Well, here we go, 3rd and long again. You know, lately, bad things have been happening for Minnesota on 3rd and long.
3rd and 7.
You're behind. You'd really like to be winning the game and run a quarterback draw here. I'm not so sure I wouldn't run it anyway. Marquise Gray, you know, he can take the ball a long way and he can break a tackle. Michigan State has been blitzing in these situations.
No completions for Gray since that 15-yard TD pass with 9:40 left in the 3rd. Gray. Completion there, but it's going to be short. Great coverage. Danikas Allen right there. As McGarry makes the catch, it's going to be 4th down now. Stay tuned for the State Farm postgame for scores, highlights, and analysis of all of the day's action. State Farm postgame.
You know what was really impressive last down? I don't know if you saw Max Bullock, the middle linebacker. He made the check at the line. He's the quarterback on the, Pat Narduzzi said he's the most valuable player of the defense because he can do those things. Even Greg Jones, a 2-time All-American last year, couldn't do what he does as far as making the changes.
Only a sophomore. He's the one that makes it all happen defensively. And that one's going to roll out of bounds. You know, we would like to extend our well wishes to a freshman hockey player for Michigan State, Brandon Carney of Battle Creek, Michigan, who suffered a neck injury in practice on Thursday. And I stopped by hockey practice yesterday to watch the Spartans, and we just really wanted to send out our best to Brandon Carney, and we wish him all the best in his recovery and hope to see him back out on the ice soon. And of course, Michigan State with a proud hockey history and Minnesota with a proud hockey history. Yep. 2 great programs. Cousins. The pitch, Bell stretched out. Bell able to get a couple of yards.
Last time they had the ball, remember they ran that little flip play, got a few yards, but that loosened up Minnesota on the inside, and then all of a sudden they went off tackle and went the distance.
You know, a couple of things. This is when you need that run game, right, Coach? Up 31-24, 8:40 left.
I used to coach and I said, fellas, what we need about a 55-yard drive with about 8 minutes, and this game is ours. You're exactly right.
And the other thing that has happened for the Spartans, their defense, they held Minnesota to 7 total yards in the last 2 possessions, and Bell with no place to go as he attempted to go right up the middle. And so, you know, you're asking, where's that Spartans D? Well, the last 2 possessions for the Gophers, just 7 total yards.
So now you need the run game on offense like we're talking about, and you run 2 plays and gain 2 yards. Not good.
So now all of a sudden 3rd down and long for the Spartans. on the day, 4 of 11 on third down.
If I'm Kirk Cousins, I'd take a deep shot here.
Cousins quickly to the near side at the 50-yard line, and they're going to come up short. Caught by Bell.
Well, they were fortunate because they had a problem with the snap there. Threw the timing off. I don't know if he was going there anyway, but you know, if you need 8 yards in that position on the field and you throw it for 7, that doesn't work either. No.
Well, Coach, I was going to ask you, how frustrating as a coach are you when you tell guys, hey, you need to get to the first down yardage, and they come up a yard short?
And this time they came up even more than that. 4th and 3. Green is back. Sadler. And this one is going to be down at the 5-yard line. Gophers down there in the student section area, trying to go to work. Gray under pressure. Escapes the pressure and then brought down, and
tackled at the 8. Marcus Rush.
He's able to pick up a yard. Adams there along with Marcus Rush.
Well, you know what? Marcus Rush really did a good job there, Matt. He started the rush hard upside from the backside. Once he got deep as Gray, he folded back underneath right where he pulled the ball down, made the play. You know, he's good, and he's awful smart for a young player.
Officially a gain of 2, 2nd and 8. There's Marcus Rush, redshirt freshman from Cincinnati, Ohio. And a timeout by Minnesota. I was talking about the student section back there. The crowd noise has
Please
just
reset
gone right
the game
through.
clock to 6:39.
So tough. And men's hockey presented by Buffalo Wild Wings. North Dakota playing Minnesota. And of course, the Gophers won last night 2-0, a shutout. And back-to-back titles in 2002, 2003. And we're talking earlier about Michigan State. They won it all in 2007, beating Boston College on a last-second goal. And great hockey. And look forward eventually to the Big Ten Hockey Conference.
Yeah.
And Penn State, their
State,
program.
they're going gangbusters.
Oh,
They've actually played hockey in this stadium.
That's right. That's right. Some outdoor games which have been great. The Big Chill. And Michigan's been a part of that. Wisconsin as well.
I bet John would like that because he likes all that ice fishing and all that stuff.
Yeah. I was actually at the Big Chill last year between Michigan and Michigan State.
See? He loves playing. He told me he played a lot of pond hockey growing up. The give on the inside. He's going to bring up third down now. Minnesota has a timeout remaining. Michigan State, they have all of theirs. Kirkwood, the ball carrier.
2nd down, Narduzzi, he dialed up the heat, man. I'll tell you one thing, he's coming.
Well, that's what he said. He goes, hey, we attack, attack, attack.
You know, typically, it's awful hard to drive the ball to 90 plays and score unless you get a big play or there's a defensive penalty, and your chance of getting a big play offensively is enhanced if people are blitzing you.
And the one word he doesn't like to use is contain. Here's Gray. Gray out of the pocket. Gray so dangerous. And Gray with a first down and more. Pick up a 19 and unable to contain him there.
That's because he doesn't like the word contain. No, this guy, they come with the blitz up the middle. Let's watch it. I can see Max Bulla, he made a big mistake there. He jumped around outside the block to give the inside lane. If he'd have come underneath that fullback, there's no place to go. Mental mistake by number 40, Max Bulla.
Isaiah Lewis on the stop, 5'10", 190. Meeting up with 6'4", 240. The give to the outside. And Bennett stretched out.
Isaiah Lewis at the 31.
And Isaiah Lewis there once again.
Well, here you can see it's going, you know, it's a combination. Either you give the ball to Juan Bennett around the corner, or Marquise Gray will pull it and go right up the middle.
And this is a team, too,
2 yards on the play.
confident. You can see it with Minnesota based upon what they did last week against Iowa at home to get their first Big Ten win of the season. Here's Gray with time, throws it dark to McKnight into Spartans territory.
And they brought pressure again, so who am I going to credit? The offensive line. Because he's going to make a good move. They give the inside move up. He's wide open. It's pitch and catch as long as the offensive line gives Gray time to throw the football. And you know the key about it, they're using the same game plan, Matt, they've used all game. Why? It's only a 7-point game. There's a lot of time. No reason to change anything.
First and 10 from the 48. Green is going to throw it downfield. And McKnight was the intended target. Trenton Robinson hung with him. He didn't bite.
Well, you know, before this play, the defensive back were saying, it's a pass, it's a pass. They were trying to key the safety up. There was something, I didn't know it was a trick play, but they knew it was a pass. And he got burned, but they didn't connect on it. Foul ball.
Great job by Robinson. Brandon Green. Here's Gray. Gray to this side, still with time, now getting chased by Rush, and he throws it out of bounds. Did you like that trick play at that stage?
Even though it didn't work, I thought it was called at the right time. It was good. I just got done saying, you know, the formula's working. You don't have to do anything. That's the time. That's probably what Pat Narduzzi's thing is do. Come with something.
Pat Narduzzi, the defensive coordinator for Michigan State.
You'd have to think his first look is going to be to McKnight. That's his go-to guy, big play performer.
Pressure was there, and there's Pat Narduzzi, the defensive coordinator. First 3 quarters upstairs, 4th quarter he comes down, an emotional lift. And you see he is intense, he is into it. Upstairs, a completely different look than it is down on the sideline.
Comes from a coaching family. His dad was a coach, knew him well.
So 4th down now.
With this amount of time, are you a little surprised they're going for it on 4th down? A little bit.
10 of 17 on 4th down this season. Gray under pressure. Allen right there, floats it out. Spartans will take over on downs. Gray was the intended target.
Yeah, well, here it is on 4th down. They're a little late off the ball. They bring the blitz. He has to step up, so the timing's off. The ball's thrown out of bounds. I'm going to tell you what category this comes into. Last week against Iowa, when they scored, you know, to get back in the ball game, and you know, there's 8:22 to left. He kicked an onside kick because he thought his defense was tired. He went for it on 4th down right now, even though there was 4:12 left to go in the game, because he thinks his defense is tired, that they might let up, they might not get the ball back. You've got to make those type of decisions.
Bell, the running back. Bell cut down and pick up of 1. And it's going to bring up now 2nd and 9. And so for Michigan State, can you run the football?
Well, I'll tell you, when I was coaching, I got in this situation like that, I'd be telling my offensive lineman, I'll tell you, if we can't run for a couple of 1st downs, John, you're not going to believe what's going to happen to you Tuesday at practice.
I know, and that's
you hear
always
me, John? You know what I'm talking about, John?
I hear you. The fear of failure in athletics is sometimes worse than the fear of death, and these guys know what's going to be coming to them if they don't get these 1st downs.
It's 2nd and 9 with the clock ticking away. Bell is the running back, Anderson the fullback. Motion. And it's going to be an end around. Martin. Stop right at the 50. He got back to the line of scrimmage.
Tackle made by 3, Kim Royston.
And so
Charge team timeout. Minnesota's
going to use a timeout. It's their 3rd and final
timeout.
timeout, but Instead of busting it up the gut with Bell, they give it to Martin. End around. Michigan State right now in a three-way tie atop the Legends division, and you see what they have left. At Iowa, then Indiana, and then they wrap up the season at Northwestern. And when you look at Michigan and Nebraska, what do you think? Michigan probably with the toughest stretch down the road.
I don't think there's any doubt about that. And yeah, you made mention of that last run. You know, when I jog in the morning, I cut every corner. I do. I want to get from point A to point B as fast as I possibly can. That stuff running east and west when you got to go north and south, running that like that, I don't like that play.
It's 3rd and 8 now. You can't cut corners now. Bell has had a couple of explosive runs here on this day. A sophomore out of Ohio, Le'Veon Bell, 15 carries, 96 yards, 2 touchdowns. 3rd and 8. Cousins dumps it over the middle. This is Bell. And Bell.
On the reception from Cousins.
And does he have enough for the first down?
The
United States Marine Corps leader of the game, Le'Veon Bell.
Coach, you know what? I'm not even going to look, but I'm telling you what I'm doing.
4th and 1.
I'm going for it.
Yes.
How about you, John? You going for it?
No, I want to pin them down as far as they can. I want to make that offense go the length of the field. They've only been able to do it one time today, and they have no timeouts left.
Really? So it's 4th and officially 2. So you say pin them. And remember, the last time Sadler was able to get it pinned down inside,
timeout.
and a timeout taken. And the Spartans has held Gray to just 2 for his last 8 for 26 yards.
Now, let me just say this. If it's 4th and 2, I'm going. From where I'm looking right here, it doesn't, maybe you got a better look down there, John, than I do. It doesn't quite look like 2.
It's close to 2.
It's probably more closer to, it's 4th and 1. I just think that, you know, with the lack of the ability to run the ball, they don't know that they're going to pick this up for sure. Now, if he wants to instill some confidence in that offensive line, yeah, go for it.
As an offensive lineman, John, in this situation, wouldn't you want to say, hey, we can do it, we can do it, we can get this done for you? The Polaris hardest working player is William Golston, 14 tackles.
John, the other end of that, I think I got a strong defense. If I don't have a strong defense, I agree with you.
Yeah, no question. If you know you can pin them down.
All right, Mike, here we go.
Sadler comes on to punt. So they're going to do what John Jansen, the offensive lineman, says, not the coach up here in the booth. Sadler, Cooch, and caught by Green right at the 10-yard line. And now they're going to say, okay, you have 2:22 to go, 90 yards against the second-best defense in the country, Coach.
Yeah, and think about the timeouts that Minnesota had to waste. Remember, they didn't have some plays called rightly. They're quickly, and they call timeout, and you'd sure like to have those timeouts left.
Hey, Paul!
Like to welcome all of those watching Ohio State and Indiana right here, 17th ranked Spartans. Lead 31-24 with 2:22 left. Minnesota with the ball at the 10-yard line, no timeouts.
And we got a barn burner.
Gray on a keeper. Gray stopped by Bullock. So the Buckeyes come away with a win. Spartans trailing in this one early on, but able to take the lead and up by a touchdown. Remember what happened last week at home against Iowa.
And they've come from behind to win in their last 11 wins.
Gray flushed out. Gray, dangerous pass. It's caught. And a first down for the Gophers. McKnight reels it in, throws back across his body into traffic.
Yeah, that's a dangerous pass. But, you know, you got to take some chances right now.
First and 10, 1:49 to go. Clock ticking away. No timeouts for the Gophers. Here's Gray. Gray to the outside. And Max Bulla on the scene. Eric Lair, the reception. 1:30 now.
Larry, you got to get out of bounds if you can there. Good tackle by the Spartans.
Second and 5. Gray. And that one sails out of bounds, and now a penalty marker is down. Tony Lippett, former wide receiver, redshirt freshman from Detroit.
Pass interference. Defense, number 14. Ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
So big penalty there. We talked about this a couple weeks back against Wisconsin. No penalties last week, 9 penalties.
On the Minnesota 32-yard line, first and 10.
8 penalties today for 68 yards. So first and 10, coach, at the 32. Gray out of the shotgun. Gray under pressure. Rush was there. Gray brought down, no timeouts left. So the clock's ticking away, and they got to hurry up.
Yeah, and what happens when that clock is ticking, you know the added pressure that puts on a quarterback? And they're wasting time here.
Second and 11, under a minute left now. Gray fires it incomplete. Third down and long.
Intended for number 1, Green. Third down and 12 yards.
You know, you talk about effort. Denzel Drone, number 52, the defensive end, was chopped off his feet, but he got up. He hustled up and got his hands up with just threw this pass off a little bit. Do you play coverage or do you go after it?
They have a tendency to go, don't they?
Yeah, if they're playing a too deep safety.
Yep, they're dropping back into coverage. Gray, markers down. And it's Eric Lair, but there is a flag down.
Eric Lair, penalty markers down.
And so it's going to be holding. You know, that O-line for Minnesota has stood up all day long. Only Ed Olson and Ryan Wynn have started every game this year. They've had so much going on.
Offense number 64. 10 yards from the previous spot. Repeat third down.
Caleb Back, redshirt freshman. Penalty negates a 19-yard play. So now you got third down and 22. 32 seconds left.
You got 2 plays to pick it up. You got to think about that.
Or you got one big play to John Rabe. 24-yard pickup. They got to hurry up. Marquise Gray saying, we're going to spike it. 22 on the clock. How about that? 31-24, 21 seconds left here. Second and 10. You know, Mark D'Antonio, instead of going for it, says, hey, we're going to pin it back. We're going to rely on one of the best defenses in the country. And Marquise Gray trying to create some magic 2 weeks in a row.
And Narduzzi is getting an earful from his head coach, Mark D'Antonio, who's a defensive coach by nature.
Dropping back into coverage. Gray out of the pocket. Gray with Golson on his wheels, and Gray is out of bounds. Golston there, Allen there, and that stops the clock. And here they go, 14 seconds left, Coach.
Well, you know what goes around comes around.
Oh, is that what you're thinking?
I call it a Hail Mary, they call it a rocket. He's got a strong enough arm to get it there in the end zone.
At the 45-yard line of the Spartans. Timeout.
Charge team timeout. Michigan State, their second timeout.
Michigan State
30-second
takes a timeout.
See, I think that's good coaching. I mean, the game's on the line. They probably got 2 plays, probably, you know. Might get 3 plays, but all of a sudden D'Antonio's going to say, get over there. He's going to take over now. Not Narduzzi to say, fellas, there's 15 seconds left. We're up by 7. Keep everything in front of you. You know, keep everything in front of you. And, you know, if we're going to go after them, I think they'll probably play coverage. But you guys up front, come on now. We need you to make a play. And you just got to get on the ground. You got to knock them out. If you get a shot at them, get them to the ground. But don't let them run around and throw it up for grabs because your guys in the back end are hanging on for life.
From the 45-yard line of Michigan State.
All right, Mike, here we go.
Minnesota came from behind a week ago against Iowa to pick up their first Big Ten win of the season, 22-21. Michigan State coming off of a loss at Nebraska.
We don't have the 3rd receiver covered to the inside. I'm a little surprised here.
Gray picked off. Trenton Robinson, his 2nd interception, and Gray saw something completely different. Receiver broke to the inside. He was expecting a break to the outside, and Michigan State's going to hold on here.
I don't know where he threw it, to be honest with you.
The break was to the middle of the field, not to the outside. Gray threw it to the outside. And Coach Kill just looking on, and here's Mark D'Antonio realizing that they're going to be able to come away with one, and there's Kirk Cousins. And Michigan State holds on for a win.